Last week we ended with Venus trine Jupiter, one of the more romantic vibrations that we see. But this week on the 28th of December, we are going to have Venus square Uranus and talk about a shock a minute. It is a wake-up call after being in a dream that had us swept up in a moment and swept up off our feet. This represents romantic surprises that do not go as planned. This represents some truth coming forward that changes us on a level of heart. Now, because this is Venus, it isn't just about love. It's also about our understanding of our own unique beauty, how we celebrate it, how we amplify it, and abundance and pleasure and socializing in general. Well, all of these matters are about to turn on their heads. So if it is that you have important experiments to be had where it comes to trying out a new hairstyle, new clothing style, or maybe even cosmetic procedures or tattoos, they tend to go off in a whole other direction, especially when they are done under this light. So late in the week, that's what you want to avoid. Now, outside of that, if you have social gatherings, social events taking place in this week, which is, of course, one of the more important holiday weeks in much of the world right now, well, yeah, just plan for connecting with or becoming aware of what's going on with people that perhaps you were connected to in the past. But this can also be what you thought would be really fun, turning out really not to be, very much by surprise. Those connections that are usually easy can feel erratic and uncomfortable. And those social connections that usually feel like you don't really know what's going on and someone is either a mystery, well, you might come to realize the mystery gets solved and they're really not nearly as fascinating as you had hoped. Now, because abundance and money is covered here, just know that there can be a sense of unexpected sticker shock, as they say, especially where it comes to items that have to do with splurges and pleasures. Now, regardless of where it is that this energy falls, understand that love can show up. Love can take you by surprise, but it can also feel like what you discover in love, it ends up being a game changer. Now, what it changes tends to be after a moment of some discomfort. Now, where it is that this energy of a surprise a minute and unexpected happenings that you thought were going to be very sweet and lovely and turn out really not to be, well, a lot depends on your sun, moon, and rising sign. You want to take all three into consideration, synthesize the information to make it unique to you. And of course, lots more horoscopes up on my YouTube channel, including monthly horoscopes and over in the superstar space at thefutureismagical.com. Aries, love and friendship are intimately tied for you now, but that's exactly where things can get really messy and really awkward very quickly, whether it's with a friend or through a friend. Some romantic surprise you didn't expect, and for some maybe didn't want, could pop up now. Now, outside of that, wherever it is that you're gathering with others, expect things to go in a way that is decidedly unexpected, but it can make for some interesting memories. Taurus, career, social standing, and life purpose. Do you love the path that you're on? Do your goals align with your heart? I think you're going to get valuable insights in a second as to whether or not you feel that your heart is in it. Whatever goals it is that you are pursuing, where heart is there, this is where a more rebellious streak shows up and you commit to the journey ahead. Where it isn't, you just might in a second leave a certain pathway behind and go towards something new. In the context of love, bosses, people in positions of authority, that's where things can get messy very quickly now. So be careful about any flirtations that might be transpiring. An attraction to somebody who has achieved something that you desire to achieve for yourself could in an instant have you seeing your own goals very differently. Gemini, the world could open up to you in an instant, but it might also feel like you don't have that much choice in the matter, even if you do. And that is because, especially where it is that you've got any plans having to do with long distance travel, with foreigners, even at a restaurant with a type of food from a country you've never tried before or been to before, these are the types of spaces and places where it can feel as if things things change very quickly, turning on their head. But for all that, it does give you a measure of welcoming in surprises that can unleash a new vision for your life, and nothing less than that. A new creativity that can have you responding very quickly. In the context of love, love gets international, whether it is an established love that you start planning, exploring new adventures together, or whether it is you that ends up connecting with someone very different than you've known before. That first meeting might feel downright awkward, but does get your interest piqued as to whether or not there's a pathway forward. Cancer, you are one of the signs that is likely to experience this in what we call financial houses, which means where it comes to things like credit cards, grants, loans, bursaries, even benefits you qualify for, that's where it can feel as if there is a surprise factor that you have to respond to very quickly. The great thing is when there is such strong financial energy, the money you need is there, but you are engaging spiritual lessons along the way. Just when you thought you had it, maybe you don't, but that really is okay. What you have will come together. Now, in the context of love, this is about vulnerability, intimacy, and authentic connections, feeling pulled towards other people. Do what feels right for you to do in light of your unique circumstance, but a moment can serve as a powerful and unexpected, if not uncomfortable, catalyst towards more profound change. Leo, partnerships and love are very much in focus, and you are one of the signs that really needs to be mindful that romantic surprises really do not go as planned, whether in established bonds or wanting to connect with someone new. It's like the last thing you expected that person to do, they do it. The last thing that you hoped for actually takes place. And with this surprise comes truth. That really is key here. It is about you seeing things differently in an instant, but also responding to an unexpected moment that shows you the truth of what you feel about where you are in love and what it is that you might want to do next. Virgo, clients, customers, immediate supervisors, and co-workers. These are the kinds of people where there could be some sort of romantic developments or opinions or expressions that feel like they come out of nowhere. They are awkward. They are unexpected, so just be mindful of that. Whatever it is that you think might be happening could turn on its head very quickly, becoming something else. So pace yourself at this time, especially if it's you that has feelings for one of these people. But for all that, spaces that you visit every day, these might also be places where some romantic declaration might occur. Outside of that, though, because Venus has to do with splurging, be mindful of splurging where it comes to a place that you like to go to. Maybe you like to eat there and it is a splurge, something that you're getting, but it isn't going to satisfy, or it's going to have some sort of an unexpected outcome than you had initially planned. So stay open to possibility. I mean, this just might make for a very interesting story. Libra, romance, flirtation, and what the heart wants, it wants, and that just might take you by surprise. Whether it's you that's feeling a very unexpected attraction to another person, or someone else declaring or flirting with you in unabashed ways, these can set up some pretty awkward moments. So it's up to you to decide how to navigate. But this can also be a time of truth, of understanding what your heart is really wanting. And in the context of getting to know new people, you will have a flash of insight letting you know if it's here or not, where you are already connected to another. It is a chance to look at love, what love is for you, where that need is reasonable, and maybe where it is not, as part of finding a new understanding. Scorpio, your past and your living situation, they could just turn on their head very quickly now. So whether it is someone reconnecting with you from the past, or you just running into them when you least expect it, it could end up being a surprise that feels decidedly very uncomfortable. Outside of that, near your living situation, around your living situation, that's where declarations of love can feel downright uncomfortable. And that also includes if you have any invitation to social events that are in your living space or just nearby where you are. For all that, though, this can represent a moment of understanding your romantic past very differently in an instant. As uncomfortable or jarring as the insight might be, it does free you to love that much more in the future. Sagittarius, siblings, cousins, neighbors. It is in the company of these particular people that romantic opportunities can open up with others, but that's also where the discomfort could lie as well. Maybe it's a friend of a sibling or a cousin. Maybe it is a neighbor as well, but things can get awkward really quickly. So pace yourself at this time. But for all that, online connections as well, I gotta say, what you think it is and what it actually is could end up being very different things. Plans that felt sure could end up turning around very quickly as well. And so it's up to you to decide, but I will say it just might make for an interesting story. Capricorn, given that this energy is speaking to a financial house, the money you need is going to be there, but this can be an unexpected expenditure or a way to go about making money that you didn't expect that ends up being uncomfortable for you in some way or challenges you. Some challenges can be good, but this is going to require an adjustment period, especially with new opportunities. The money you need is there, so that is no worries. Now, outside of that, remember, love and self-love are intimately connected for you now, and you are about to gain some very powerful insights into what that connection just might be for you. Spaces and places that you go to emphasize healthy self-love for you, whatever that might be uniquely for you, well, that's where there might be a romantic overture that feels uncomfortable, but does give you a new perspective into what it is you're going for. Aquarius, this is the last few days of Venus in your sign, and she is going out speaking intention with your ruling planet. This is an undeniable moment to understand who you are in love, where you are in love, how you feel about it. But Venus in your sign does make you a magnet. Unfortunately, this is a magnet for decidedly uncomfortable moments. I'm so sorry to say, but it does happen. But at least it helps you to get clear about what you're really going for in the context of love. Look, beauty treatments and anything you do to celebrate your unique beauty really could go in all kinds of directions. It's not recommended, but what is recommended is unabashedly, unapologetically celebrating your unique beauty as you are right now today. Pisces, if anybody out there is likely to be shocked and surprised and feeling like some declaration of love came smack out of nowhere, it certainly is you. When you least expect it, it could just pop up, but that can be part of what makes it uncomfortable. Another part might be whom it is that is making this declaration. So pace yourself at this time. Whatever your expectations, it's going to end up being something very different. For all that, this can also be a remarkable moment that in an instant helps you to put the past behind you so that you're that much more open to the future, whether that future involves someone new you hope to meet or someone you're with now. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great transit. Enjoy.